Sandra had just started a new job 2 days ago. Though the work was tough, she was grateful to have it after a long search. That morning, the weather was harsh, dark skies, cold air, and heavy rain made the roads slippery. Sandra hurried to work, clutching her small umbrella, determined not to be late. On her way, she noticed an old woman standing in the rain, shivering and soaked, with no umbrella or coat. Sandra felt pity and approached her, offering her umbrella. "Mama, take this. You'll get sick," she said, urging the woman to go home. The old woman explained she had nowhere to go, having just arrived from the village. Sandra, moved by her plight, offered the little money she had, but the woman refused, saying she couldn't take what needed for herself. Thinking quickly, invited the old woman to come with her to work. The woman, tears in her eyes, accepted. At the office, found a corner for the woman to sit, helped dry her clothes, and promised to take her home during her break. Later, went out to buy food for both of them, despite her limited funds. Meanwhile, Emily, the CEO's fiancée, arrived at the office and saw the old woman. Disgusted, she loudly demanded to know why a dirty beggar was there. The old woman, humbled, offered to leave, but Emily insulted her further, calling her unwanted and ordering her out. The old woman, without arguing, left quietly, holding back tears. Returned to the office, excited to share the food she had bought for Mama. But as she approached, she saw Mama standing outside the gate, looking sad and defeated. Rushed to her, asking, "Mama, why are you out here?" Mama sighed and explained, "A woman came and told me to leave. She called me dirty and poor and said I don't belong here." As hands clenched in anger. "Who did this to you?" she asked. Mama replied, "She said she's the CEO's fiancée. Her name is Emily." As blood boiled, she stormed into the office, where Emily was sitting comfortably, looking at her nails as if nothing had happened. Walked straight up to her and said firmly, "Emily, how dare you treat my mother like that? What gives you the right to insult an elderly woman?" Emily laughed mockingly. "Your mother? That dirty beggar? Please, I warned Austin not to hire you, but he didn't listen. And now you're here, shouting at me." Took a deep breath, trying to stay calm, but her anger was too strong. "You don't even know if my boss will marry you. Look at yourself, so rude and full of pride." Emily's face darkened. "What did you just say?" she hissed. Stepped closer. "If you can treat a helpless old woman like that, I wonder how you'll treat your future mother-in-law. Do you think she'll approve of your behavior?" Emily scoffed. "My mother-in-law isn't poor and dirty like that old woman. She's classy and beautiful, just like me. She'll love me when she meets me." Shook her head. "You're blind, Emily. Beauty and money don't make a good wife. A good wife is kind, respectful, and loving. But you're arrogant and cruel. You'll never know true love." Emily stood up, pointing a finger at, "You're going to lose your job. You'll regret talking to me like this." Laughed bitterly. "I don't care. I don't want to work where people like you exist. You insulted my mother, and disrespected her, and now you think you can threaten me. Do your worst, Emily. I'm taking my mother home, and I don't care about this job anymore." With that, turned and walked out. Emily clenched her fists, her face red with anger. "You'll regret this, you poor little girl." Outside, Mama was waiting. Smiled and held her hand. "I had to stand up for you, Mama. No one has the right to treat you that way. Let's go home." As Mama walked away from the office, felt a sense of peace. Meanwhile, Emily sat in the office, furious that a poor cleaner had dared to stand up to her. She picked up her phone and called her fiancé, Austin, pretending to cry. "Austin, something terrible happened," she sobbed. "Brought her street friends to the office. They insulted me and even tried to beat me up. I was so scared." Austin, shocked, asked, "Did that?" Emily lied. "Yes. She even said she doesn't care about her job and walked out like she owns the place." Austin sighed. "I'll handle it, Emily. Go home and rest." After hanging up, Emily smirked, whispering, "Let's see how you survive this." And Mama arrived at a small one-room house. It was simple, just a mattress, a table, and a cooking pot. Handed Mama a cup of water and said, "Mama, you can stay here as long as you need." Mama smiled. "A home isn't about size, it's about the love inside. You have a kind heart. As they ate, Mama revealed why she had come to the city. I came to find a wife for my son, she said. Was surprised. Your son? Mama nodded. Yes, he's a good man, hardworking and kind. But he's not married, and I worry he never will. She then looked at and said, I want you to be his wife. Was stunned. Me? Mama, I haven't even met him. Mama smiled. You're kind and hardworking. You'd be perfect for him. Laughed. Mama, stop praising him so much. Let me meet him first. Mama agreed. You'll see him soon. Just then, S phone rang. It was Austin, her boss. His voice was sharp and angry. How dare you bring strangers to the office and attack my fiancé? Explained. Sir, that's not true. I only helped an old woman. Emily insulted her and made her leave. Austin dismissed her. Emily said you caused trouble. I can't lose her over a new employee. You're fired. Felt a mix of anger and relief. Sir, I'm not surprised. You're a man who lets his fiancée control him. Keep your job, I don't need it. She hung up, feeling free but worried about finding another job. Mama, hearing the conversation, felt guilty. My child, I'm the reason you lost your job. Reassured her. No, Mama, I have no regrets. Jobs come and go, but doing the right thing matters most. Later, Mama's phone rang, a fancy smartphone hadn't noticed before. Mama answered calmly, speaking to a man who called her Mama. He sounded weak, saying he wasn't feeling well and asked her to come home. Mama assured him she'd return the next day and told him to rest. After the call, was curious but didn't ask questions. Mama seemed deep in thought, and wondered what was really going on. Curious about the phone call, asked Mama who had called. Mama smiled and said it was her son. She explained that he had just returned from a trip, was feeling unwell, and wanted her to come home. Offered to go with her, but Mama refused, saying she'd call to visit soon. Noticed Mama's expensive phone and asked how she got it. Mama laughed nervously and said her son had bought it for her so she could watch her favorite TV show, especially since there was no constant electricity in her village. Chuckled, saying her son must really love her to buy such an expensive phone. Mama proudly agreed, adding that would like him when they met. Joked, Mama, stop selling your son like a market woman. The next morning, Mama left early for her son's house. Helped her pack and hugged her tightly, asking her to call when she arrived. Mama assured her she would. When Mama reached the mansion, she stood at the gate, tired but hopeful. The security guards eyed her suspiciously, and one of them radioed inside, saying an old, dirty woman was asking to see the boss. Emily, Austin's fiancée, stormed out, dressed in a designer gown and high heels. She looked at Mama with disgust and snapped, You again? What are you doing here? Mama stood tall and replied firmly, I'm here to see my son. Emily laughed mockingly, Your son? You must be crazy. Go back to your miserable life. She insulted Mama further, accusing her of stalking, and slammed the door shut. Mama, hurt and angry, called her son. Her voice was strong but pained. Come home now. I'm at your gate, and I've never been so insulted in my life. Austin, alarmed, rushed home immediately. When he arrived, he saw his mother standing outside, dressed in old clothes, looking exhausted. Shocked, he asked, Mama, why are you out here like this? Mama sighed and placed a hand on his shoulder. My son, I came to your company earlier, disguised as a poor woman, to test your fiancée. You've spoken so highly of her, but she failed terribly. She insulted me and treated me with no respect. Austin was stunned, realizing the truth about Emily's character. Austin's expression turned dark as anger filled him. Mama, what are you saying? What happened? Mama took a deep breath and explained, I was sitting quietly in your office. A kind girl named helped me. She gave me her umbrella, took me to work so I wouldn't be stranded in the rain, and treated me with respect. But when Emily saw me, she insulted me and threw me out like I was nothing. She told me to leave and never come back. Austin's hands clenched into fists. He couldn't believe what he was hearing. The woman he planned to marry had disrespected his mother, the person who meant everything to him. His heart was heavy with anger and disappointment. Just then, Emily walked in, smiling as if nothing had happened. Honey, did you see that dirty old woman outside? She claimed to be your mother. Can you believe it? Some people don't know their place, she said, flipping her hair. Austin's eyes darkened. She is my mother, he said coldly. Emily froze, her smile disappearing. She tried to laugh it off. Oh, baby, I was just joking. I didn't know she was your mother. Austin's voice was firm. It doesn't matter if you knew or not. The way you treated her shows who you really are. You insulted an old woman and threw her out like she was nothing. That's not the kind of person I want in my life. Emily panicked. Austin, please. I love you. I didn't mean to hurt anyone. But Austin was done. Pack your things and leave. We're over. Emily screamed in frustration. You're a fool. You'll never find someone like me. She stormed out, slamming the door behind her. Austin sat down, feeling a mix of relief and regret. He realized he had trusted the wrong woman. His mother came out, looking calm and wise. My son, I hope you see now that Emily wasn't the right one for you, she said. Austin nodded. You were right, Mama. Love without kindness means nothing. A woman who disrespects you can never be my wife. His mother smiled and said, there's something you should know. When I was with, I told her you were poor. I described a small, old house and said you had no money, but didn't care. She laughed when I praised you too much and said she wanted to meet you first. She has a good heart, my son. Austin chuckled. Mama, you made me sound like a struggling village boy. His mother laughed. I had to test her. Past. She's the kind of woman you need. Austin thought for a moment. I want to be sure, Mama. Let's not tell her the truth yet. I'll disguise myself as a poor man and see if she still accepts me. His mother agreed. That's wise, my son. Call her and arrange to meet somewhere else. If she truly has a good heart, she won't care about your wealth. Austin nodded and dialed S number. When she answered, he introduced himself humbly. Hello, this is Austin. My mother told me about you. She said you're kind and agreed to meet me. S voice was warm. Oh, Austin. Your mother spoke a lot about you too. She said you're hardworking. Austin smiled, feeling hopeful. He was ready to see if was truly the woman his mother believed her to be. Austin chuckled softly. I do my best. Mama told me you wanted to meet first before making any decisions. I respect that. Can we meet tomorrow? Agreed without hesitation. Sure, where should we meet? Austin thought for a moment. He needed a place that fit his poor man's disguise. There's a small park near the main market. It's quiet, and we can sit and talk there. Is that okay? Agreed, and they decided to meet at 2 p.m. the next day. That night, Austin prepared carefully for the meeting. He chose simple, worn-out clothes, faded jeans, a plain t-shirt, and old sneakers. He even left his expensive watch at home and took an old phone instead of his usual one. He wanted to look as ordinary as possible. The next day, Austin arrived at the park early and sat on a bench under a tree. At exactly 2 p.m., arrived. She wore a simple dress and flat sandals, looking neat and cheerful. She spotted Austin and walked over with a smile. You must be Austin, she said, sitting beside him. Yes, and you must be, Austin replied, smiling warmly. They sat quietly for a moment, observing each other. Broke the silence with a playful tone. You know, it's funny, you share the same name as my foolish ex-boss who fired me. Austin laughed, trying to hide his amusement. Really? Your boss was named Austin too? Nodded, crossing her arms. Yes, and I'll never forget how he fired me over a lie. His fiancée is the most arrogant person I've ever met. She threw an old woman out of the office, and I defended her. Instead of investigating, my boss just listened to his fiancée and sacked me. Austin pretended to be curious. That sounds terrible. What kind of man fires someone without hearing both sides? Scoffed, a blind, foolish man who lets a woman control him. Honestly, I feel sorry for him. Austin held back another laugh. Maybe he regrets it now. Shrugged. Well, that's his problem. Anyway, let's not talk about that. Tell me about yourself, Austin. Your mother said a lot, but I'd rather hear it from you. Austin smiled. There's not much to say. I'm just a simple guy trying to make ends meet. I do small jobs here and there. Life hasn't been easy, but I keep pushing. Nodded. I respect that. Hard work is important. Do you have any dreams? Austin smiled wide. Of course. I may not have much now, but I believe one day I'll have my own successful business. I want to build something that will make my mother proud. As I softened. That's beautiful. Your mother loves you so much. I could see it when she talked about you. Austin looked down, touched. She is the most important person in my life. She raised me alone and sacrificed everything for me. I wouldn't be here without her. Smiled. That's why I agreed to meet you. Any man who values his mother is worth knowing. Austin felt a warmth in his chest. As words were simple but meaningful. They talked for hours, sharing stories about their lives. Told him about her struggles, searching for a job for months, finally getting one, and then losing it after just 2 days. Austin listened carefully, nodding as she spoke. Time flew by, and they didn't even notice the sun setting. As they prepared to leave, Austin smiled. I really enjoyed talking to you today. Smiled back. Me too. You're different, Austin. I like that. Austin felt a strange happiness. He had just met her, but felt special. The next morning, was in her small room, thinking about her meeting with Austin. She had enjoyed their conversation and felt there was something different about him. Just as she was about to start her chores, her phone rang. It was an unknown number. She answered, "Hello, good morning." It was the manager from the company she had been fired from. "Good morning. I'm calling on behalf of my boss. He's realized his mistake and wants to make things right. He's decided to rehire you, this time as his personal assistant." Was shocked. "Sir, I don't know what to say," she hesitated. The manager continued, "I understand how you feel, but the boss wants to correct his mistake. He's personally requested you for this position. You don't have to answer now, but please consider it." Wanted to refuse, but she remembered her bills and the need for a job. After a deep breath, she said, "Okay, I accept." The manager replied, "Great. Please resume tomorrow morning." Sat down, still in shock. She had just agreed to work for the same man who had fired her so easily. She immediately called Mama. "Mama, I have good news," said excitedly. Mama's voice was warm and cheerful. "My daughter, what's the good news?" Explained, "My old job called me back. They apologized and said my boss realized his mistake. They offered me a new position as his personal assistant." Mama clapped her hands in excitement. "You see, my daughter, good things come to those with a good heart. I'm so happy for you." Smiled. "Thank you, Mama. But I miss you. When are you coming to see me?" Mama laughed. "Soon, my daughter. Very soon." Mama then added playfully, "You see, my son is a perfect match for you. Look at how he's brought you so much good luck. First, you met him, and now your life is changing for the better." Groaned jokingly, "Mama, not again. Please don't start." They both laughed. The next day, dressed in her best outfit and went to work. This time, she wasn't just a regular employee, she was the CEO's personal assistant. As she walked into the building, she felt a mix of emotions. She was happy to have a job again but remembered how she'd been treated before. When she reached the CEO's office, she knocked on the door. "Come in," a deep voice called out. Stepped inside and froze. The man sitting behind the desk was her boss, the same Austin she had insulted days ago, the same Austin she had called foolish. Her heart skipped a beat. She had been talking to him all along without realizing it. Austin smiled. "Welcome back. I hope you like your new position." Still in shock, managed to say, "Thank you, sir." Austin leaned forward. "I want to sincerely apologize for everything my ex-girlfriend did to you. She was wrong, and I should never have believed her. I hope you can forgive me." Nodded. "It's fine, sir. I've already moved on." Austin smiled. "That's good to hear." He then added, "You look beautiful today." Frowned slightly. "Thank you, sir," she replied cautiously. Austin continued, "Would you like to go out with me sometime?" As face turned serious. She sat up straight and said firmly, "Sir, if this is why you rehired me, then I'm done. I can't do this." Austin quickly raised his hands. No, that's not it. I'm sorry if I made you uncomfortable. It was my mistake, nodded. All right, I just want to focus on my work. After a long day at work, went home feeling uneasy. She called Austin and told him about her boss's behavior. Austin, I don't like my boss. I don't feel comfortable working there. I think I want to quit. Austin pretended to be surprised. What happened? Did he do something wrong? Explained how her boss had complimented her and asked her out. Austin reassured her, don't quit. You need this job. Just focus on your work. If he tries anything again, stand your ground, but don't leave because of him. Hesitated but agreed. All right, if you say so. I just don't want any trouble. Austin chuckled. You won't have any trouble. Trust me. A few weeks later, arrived at work feeling refreshed. She had decided to focus on her job and not let her boss's behavior distract her. Her boss called her into his office and announced, as my personal assistant, you'll get some benefits. You'll be assigned a car and a well-furnished apartment near the office. Was shocked. Sir, are you serious? Her boss smiled. Yes. You deserve it. Couldn't stop smiling but then narrowed her eyes. I hope this isn't what I think it is. Her boss raised his hands. No, this is strictly work-related. But, I still like you. You're beautiful, and I admire you. S smile faded. She took a deep breath and said firmly, Sir, please stop. I'm getting married soon. I'm in love with someone else. Let's keep this professional. Her boss sighed and nodded. All right. I respect your decision. Later, called Austin, excited to share the news. Babe, you won't believe what just happened. My boss gave me a car and a well-furnished apartment. Austin chuckled. Wow, that's great news, babe. I told you not to quit. Look how things are working out for you. Laughed. Yes, you were right. And because of that, I'm taking you to a fancy restaurant this weekend. I'm going to spoil you, my love. Austin smiled. Babe, do you have money for that? Rolled her eyes playfully. Don't worry, okay. I'll handle it. I insist. Austin agreed, fine. See you this weekend. On the day of their date, wore a beautiful blue dress and comfortable heels. Austin arrived, and they took a taxi to the restaurant. They laughed and talked, enjoying each other's company. When they finished eating, reached for her purse to pay the bill, but the waiter said, Ma'am, your bill has already been covered. Was confused. What do you mean? The waiter smiled. Everything you ate today has been paid for. Looked at Austin. Did you do this? Austin raised his hands. Babe, I'm a struggling man. How could I afford this? Sighed, still puzzled. This is strange. Maybe there's some promotion or something. Austin just smiled and took a sip of his drink. They sat quietly for a moment before Austin put down his fork and looked at seriously. Will you marry me? He asked. Froze, her heart skipping a beat. Austin gently held her hands. I've never met anyone like you. You're kind, selfless, and full of life. I want to spend my life with you. Tears filled S eyes. Yes, Austin. Yes, I'll marry you. Austin smiled. You've made me the happiest man in the world. Laughed, wiping her tears. I can't wait to tell Mama. She'll be so happy. A few days later, Mama invited over. When arrived, she was shocked to see a massive mansion. Mama, this can't be your house, said, confused. Mama chuckled. Come inside. I'll explain. Inside, Mama hugged her warmly. My daughter, Austin isn't poor. He's the CEO of your company. He wanted to test if you'd love him for who he is, not for his money. Was stunned. You mean? Austin is my boss? Mama nodded. Felt upset but forgave them. I'm still angry, but I love you and Austin. I forgive you. Mama hugged her tightly. Thank you, my daughter. A few months later, and Austin had a beautiful wedding and lived happily ever after. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like, share, and leave a comment. Make sure to subscribe to African Tales by Zoe for more amazing stories filled with life lessons and inspiration. Your support helps us bring more beautiful tales to life.